The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 1147, a bill to implement the recommendations of the Federal Communications Commission report to the Congress regarding low-power FM service.
Without objection, the first reading of the bill will be dispensed with, and the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Doyle, is recognized for the purpose of offering a manager's amendment in the nature of a substitute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief with the description of the manager's
Well, we
amendment.
need to offer it first, Mr. Doyle. So,
okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So Mr. Doyle offers an amendment.
Amendment in the nature of a substitute to H.R. 1147, offered by Mr. Doyle, Pennsylvania.
Without objection, the reading of the bill is dispensed with, and the gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief with my description of the amendment. I first want to thank you for your work and the work of Amy Levine on your staff on this manager's amendment. I also want to thank the many thousands of existing incumbent licensed broadcasters who support this bill, including members of the National Federation of Community Broadcasters and the Christian Community Broadcasters. I'm also very pleased by the support shown for the bill as introduced by the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, the United Church of Christ, OC Incorporated, the United Methodist Church, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, the National Council of Churches of Christ, Christian Coalition Leadership Conference on Civil Rights, the National Hispanic Media Coalition, NAACP, Communication Workers of America, the Future of Music Coalition, and the outstanding work from the Prometheus Radio Project and dozens of others of local and national groups across the country. We make the changes in the manager's amendment today to address concerns from other incumbent broadcasters, and I'm especially pleased that National Public Radio expressed its appreciation of these changes. I'd like to put this letter in the record expressing their support for the changes in the manager's amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection.
So first, we simply amend current law instead of repealing it, and we also add language requiring the FCC to protect co-first and second adjacent channel spacing. The new language also grants substantial flexibility to the FCC to manage the spectrum. Second, the amendment takes a belt and suspenders approach to the interference complaints by adding process language permitting different evidence and a more streamlined process for full power stations complaining about interference, although to date very, very few complaints have been filed at all. And lastly, we add protection for translator inputs. As we know, translators are lower power stations that rebroadcast a big station's signal and expand the station's coverage. This amendment adds even more protection to already strict FCC rules protecting translator inputs. Again, I want to thank Chairman Boucher and Chairman Waxman for their strong support, and Sean Chang, Roger Sherman, and Pelt Delgado for their hard work. But I would be remiss if I didn't also thank Pete Treatish from the Prometheus Radio Project and Cheryl Lianza from the United Church of Christ Office of Communication for their countless hours over their decade of work dedicated to expanding community radio across the United States. Their technical and legal expertise was essential, and their ability to show real local grassroots support for this bill has been critical. Mr. Chairman, I thank you and I yield back.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Doyle.